Hello Year 3, welcome back to your maths videos. This is your third maths video. Your learning objective for today is, can I use my knowledge of finding one more or less to find 10 and 100 more or less than a given number? To start off, have a go at doing this by yourself on your piece of paper. It says complete the number facts below using place value counters, and you're going to need to draw them pictorially just like they've shown you here. Your number is 65, so you have 5 ones and 6 tens. They want you to find 1 less, 1 more, 10 less, and 10 more by also drawing it pictorially. So have a go, and when you're ready, play the video again. So let's have a go at doing one together. Our number is 65. These are our ones and these are our tens. Now, the first one it wants us to find is 1 less. So which column do we need to look at to find 1 less? Do we look at the ones column or the tens column? We look at the ones column. What is 1 less than 65? Your number would be 64. So how many ones would you need to draw? 4. I'm going to make sure I write my ones in my counters. And how many tens are we going to need? Are the number of tens affected if I need 1 less? No, our tens stay the same. So I still need 6 tens. 4, 5, 6. Okay, now let's look at the rest together. So we've just done 61 less, which gave us 64. So what would 1 more than 65 be? Which column would we need to look at? To get 1 more, we need to look at the ones column. So 1 more than 65 is 66. We are going to need 6 ones. And has my tens column changed? No, because we only needed 1 more, which got added to our ones column. Now, how about if we wanted 10 less? Which column would we need to look at? With our number is 65. These are our ones and these are our tens. If I want 10 less, I would look at the tens column. So would my ones column change? No, I still have 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10 less than 65 would be 55, because instead of 6 tens, I will need 5 tens. And similarly, to find 10 more than 65, which column would I look at? I would look at the tens column to find 10 more. So what's 10 more than 65? 75. What do you notice about the ones column? The ones column has stayed the same. And instead of 6 tens, now I need 7 tens. Okay, how could you find 1, 10, and 100 more of the number below? How could you find 1, 10, and 100 less of the number below? So pause the video and have a go at answering this yourself. You can draw it pictorially like the previous slide if it helps you, and then play the video when you're ready to discuss. Okay, so we want to find 1, 10, and 100 more of the number below. So if we want to find 1 more, which column would we look at? Ones, tens, or hundreds? Well, we would look at the ones column. So one more than 234 is 235. How about 10 more than 234? Which column would I look at? I would look at my tens column. So 10 more than 234 would be 244. Now, how about 100 more of the number below? Which column would I need to look at? Well, I need 100 more, so I would look at my hundreds column. What would happen to my tens and ones column? Would they change or would they stay the same? They would stay the same because I only need to add 100 more. So what's 100 more than 234? 334. How could you find 1, 10, and 100 less of the number below? Now this time we need less. How would we find 1 less than 234? Which column would I need to look at? I would need to look at the ones column. So what's 1 less than 4? 3. So my number would be 233. How about 10 less? Which column would I look at? I would look at the tens column. So 1 less than 3 is 2. Or 10 less than 30, because it's in our tens column, is 20. So our number would be 224 instead of 234. Now, to get 100 less of the number below, which column would I need to look at? I would look at my hundreds column. What's 100 less than 200? It would be 100. So my number would be 134 instead of 234. Think either out loud or in your head, or speak to somebody in your house if they're available. Explain your reasoning. So when we're adding or subtracting or finding one more or one less than a number, which column changes? The ones column. So how about when we're finding 10 more or 10 less than a number? Which column changes? The tens column. How about when we're finding 100 more or 100 less than a given number? Which column changes? The hundreds column. This is your first activity that you're going to be doing independently. So make sure you write activity 1 on your piece of paper, and you can then label them A, B, C, D, and E to be ready to upload your work onto Tapestry. When you have finished your first activity, then you can play the video again and we'll carry on with the video. Okay, this is our time to discuss. So we're going to have a go at doing this together, and then you can also have a go at doing the second row yourself. We'll do the first row together and you can do the second row yourself. It says complete the table below using base 10 drawn representations, so pictorial representations. Here we haven't been given the number. We know that 1 less than the number is 100, 200, 300, 310, 320, 330, 331, 332. That is 1 less than our number. So that means we have already removed one of the ones to make it 1 less. So what would my number be? If I've already taken one of the ones away to make it 1 less, then my number would have to have one more, because one less would mean that I have looked at the ones column or the ones pictorial representations, and I have already taken one of them away to have one less. So my number would be this number with one more ones. So it would be 330, and instead of 2, because we've already taken one of them away, it would have had 3 ones. Because 1 less than 333 would give me 332. So this is the number that I need to work with. What would be 1 more than 333? Which column would I need to add my 1 to? My ones column. So I would still have how many hundreds? 3 hundreds, because my hundreds columns don't change when I'm adding 1 more. Do my tens column change? No, I would still have 3 tens. And instead of 3 ones, I want 1 more, so I would need 4 ones. Now let's look back at our number. Our number is 333. What is 10 less than 333? Which column would I need to look at? My tens column, because I need 10 less. So what's 10 less than this number? Would my hundreds change? No, my hundreds would stay the same. How about my tens? Yes, my tens would change because I want 10 less. So instead of 3 tens, I would have 2 tens. And would my ones change? No, my ones would stay the same. How about if I'm finding 10 more than my number? Which column would be affected? My tens column, and I would need 1 more 10 stick to represent 10 more. So I would have still 300, 10, 20, 30. Instead of 30, I would have 40 because I need 10 more. 10, 20, 30, 40. And my ones would stay the same. Okay, now let's look back at our number. I want 100 less. So which column would be affected? Hundreds, tens, or ones? My hundreds column would be affected, and I need 100 less. So I would need to take one of the hundreds away. So now I would be left with 200. Would my tens be affected? No, because I'm taking 100 less away. So I would still have 3 tens, and my ones would also stay the same. And similarly, to find 100 more, only my hundreds would be affected of my given number. And this time I need 100 more. So instead of 300, I would need 400, and my tens would stay the same, and my ones would stay the same. Now that we've done one of them together, can you have a go at figuring out what our number is? We have been given 10 more of the number. So if this number represents 10 more of my given number, what would my number be? Well, this number shows 10 more than my original number. So my original number would have 10 less. So my original number would be 100, 200, and 34. On your scrap piece of paper, you don't need to take a picture of this to upload onto Tapestry, but as practice, can you please have a go at completing the rest of the boxes yourself before you move on to your next activity? Play the video when you're ready. This is your second independent activity. You don't have to draw the whole grid onto your piece of paper. You could just write the number and then write 1 less, but you must make sure that you label 1 less, 10 less, 100 less, 1 more, 10 more, and 100 more. So it may look like this on your piece of paper. You will have the number 875, and then you will label 1 more, and you would draw your representation here, and you would label 10 more, you would label 100 more, and so on. So complete this and make sure you take a picture of this activity to put onto Tapestry. Once you have finished with this activity, you can play the video again, and there's a challenge for you to get on with. Okay, hopefully you finished this second activity now, and you can move on to your challenge and have a go at completing your challenge questions. Make sure you upload all of your work onto Tapestry, and I will see you in the next video. Well done, Year 3.